although a limber by Saadi el-Qaddafi, who is also the son of the dictator el-Qaddafi, and an aspiring soccer player. After playing a game in an Italian soccer league, Qaddafi too failed the drug test.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 9. Taking a shortcut. The marathon of the 1904 Olympics in St. Louis, Missouri was dubbed, quote, the most difficult a human was ever asked to run. Fred Lors won the marathon with a time of 3 hours and 13 minutes and was roughly 15 minutes ahead of his nearest rival. It was a hard, unregulated race, as, during the race, the runners had to deal with high temperatures and humidity, in addition to steep hills, traffic, and wandering wild dogs. Fred Lors wanted to rest after completing 9 miles, so he hitched a ride for the next 11 miles. Yep, you heard that right. Lors stopped running after 9 miles and was driven a further 11 miles by his trainer. When the car broke down, he continued on foot to the stadium, just jogging, where the crowd greeted him as a winner. He decided to go along with it, later saying it was just a practical joke. He had already had his photograph taken with Alice Roosevelt, the president's daughter, and was preparing for the medal ceremony before anyone found out he had missed almost half of the track. His cheating was soon discovered, and the winner was declared to be an ailing Thomas Hicks, who had been given strychnine, egg whites, and brandy during the race. Number 8. Margarette de Jesus and Madeline. At the Los Angeles Games, Madeline de Jesus sustained a hamstring injury during her long jump attempt. Fearing she was unable to participate in the next round of the 4x400 meter relay, she thought of a solution. This might sound something out of a Hollywood movie. Her twin sister, Margarette, was also an athlete, and the crowd was watching Madeline. The pair swapped places for the next round, thus giving an advantage to the Puerto Rican squad. Margaret ran the qualifier's second leg, and the team made headway. But when the Puerto Rican team's chief coach heard of the ruse, he pulled his squad out of the finale. Number 7. Train carrier. You might think what Lors did was unacceptable, and we don't blame you for that. But Lors wasn't the first Olympic marathon player to catch a ride. He was at least decent enough to cheat to win the race. Spiridon Belokis was a Greek athlete and was born in Athens. He competed at the 1896 Summer Olympics in Athens and was one of 17 athletes to start the Olympic marathon race. Belokis, unsurprisingly, rode for part of the annual Olympic marathon in Athens in 1896 in a carriage, but only managed to cross the line in 3rd place. The Greek runner was disqualified, depriving the host country of taking the top 3 slots in the Olympic signature event. We're not taking anything away from Belokis because he was one of the best of his time, but what he did was completely unacceptable. He was later banned for a few years too, depriving the country of the top 3 spots. Number 6. Woman or a man? This is one of the strangest cheating scandals in sport history. At the Summer Olympics in Berlin in 1936, Dore Ratchen placed 4th at the women's high jump, breaking a world high jump record at the European Championships in Athletics in 1939. She got a lot of fame for it, but after a while, a bombshell was discovered after setting the high jump record. There was only one question going around. Was Dora raised female? The answer was no. In reality, she was actually a man. Later in life, the people around Dora believed that the Nazis had forced him to pose as a woman, quote, for Germany's honor and glory. He also reportedly said, "For 3 years I lived the life of a girl. It was most dull." She was forced to return her medals when authorities found out. They had his world record taken off too, and he later changed his name to Heinrich. How many people do you know who've been playing female for all the wrong reasons, but are actually males? Number 5. Marion Jones. Marion Lois Jones is a retired American track and field sports champion and a former professional basketballer for Tulsa Shock at the WNBA. The American sprint and long-lasting jumper was the highlight of the Sydney Games 2000, as she took 3 medals in gold and 2 in bronze. However, her activities were suspected following the news that her husband, C.J. Hunter, had tested positive for steroids during the Games. Allegations of steroid use had long followed Jones, and in 2003, she was caught in an investigation involving illegal steroid distribution by a laboratory named Balco. Jones rejected the use of performance-enhancing supplements, but later she confessed to using the drugs before the Sydney Games in 2007, and, following a 6-month federal investigation, was sentenced and put in prison. She was stripped of her Olympic medals. Number 4. Horseplay. Human beings aren't the only ones screened at the Olympics for substance abuse. We already know that animals play a big part in human sports, including horse racing. Horses participating in these competitions also get investigated. An innocent horse was caught in a drug abuse scandal at the Olympics, too. Camiro the horse, ridden by Norwegian Tony Andre Hansen, had tested positive for capsaicin at the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing. While widely used for minor injuries, capsaicin can be used as a stimulant in a topical ointment made from chili pepper and is thus included in the list of substances banned by the Olympics. The bronze medal that was won by Hansen and Camiro was stripped off. Number 3. Boris Onyshenko. The ex-Soviet modern pentathlon player Boris Onyshenko has competed at the Summer Olympics in 1968, 1972, and 1976. He was a multiple Olympic and world champion, but at the 1976 Summer Games, he was disqualified for doping and barred from the sport for life. He was a favorite in the pentathlon when the Montreal Olympics were opened in 1976. The thing which cast Onyshenko's out from the 1976 Games was the technology of late 70s. He was not supposed to have any issues in the fencing field of an event as a full fencer. However, the issue started when Team Britain noticed that, although he had failed to hit his rival, he was awarded a point. It was finally discovered that the sword had been modified and Onyshenko could push the button to falsely record a strike. The swords were electrical and designed to detect an object when an opponent was struck. With his plot foiled, Onyshenko was expelled from the games and banned for life. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by one of our subscribers, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it on over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. Number 2. This is a picture of a female swimmer. We couldn't find anything relating to her, but we know that swimmers have been caught cheating in the Olympics multiple times. In the 1970s and 1980s, East Germany was winning everywhere in the pool, which created suspicions of the use of steroids along with other physical features. An Eastern German trainer replied to allegations, quote, "We came here for swimming and winning." After the collapse of the Wall of Berlin in 1991, the women's swimming team coaches acknowledged what many believed for some time, that East German swimmer was systematically using steroids. In 2000, a Berlin court found the former German head of sport and his medical director guilty of systematic and general doping in professional sports. Number 1. Badminton scandal. And finally, one of the biggest cheating scandals in modern-day Olympics history. It's very unusual to fail deliberately on such a huge stage where you're representing your country, but it does happen. In the 2012 London Olympics, 8 female badminton players were booed off the pitch after players regularly served into the net or hit wide on purpose in order to lose and play weaker teams in the next round. 2 teams from South Korea and 1 each from China and Indonesia were disqualified and charged with abusing and demeaning the sport of badminton. That's our list of the top 10 Olympic athletes who were caught cheating. Would you cheat on such a huge stage? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And as always, thanks for watching.